1 second in and I'm already gonna contradict the existence of this video. Generation wars are sorta dumb. No one can choose when they're born, and in general, it's just simply bad to generalize entire groups of people. However, ultimately, this isn't something that has started wars, so I still choose to partake in them. Today, we'll be ranking the generations by how annoying I think they are, going back as far as the 7th. I feel like the debate of the worst generation is extremely heated because I have seen so many different answers, and honestly, they all have usually good reasons. So let's jump into it. Coming in at 7th is the greatest generation because, not much going on from them. Moving on to number 6, we got the silent generation, mainly, we don't really hear much from them, but they're a spot higher because they're more likely to be alive, so I'd assume there's maybe 1 or 2 bad apples. Moving into the 5th spot, now this might get some heat from my generation. In fact, there was a whole meme in like 2019 used to hate on these guys, but y'all really gotta hear me out. I'm putting boomers at number 5. The meme in question being that okay boomer thing, so boomers have it pretty rough amongst Gen Z, and I can see why. For one, they're obviously more conservative in general. They're notorious for being difficult in retail, customer service settings, and they're known to live in the past with their back in my day. Hold right there. Hold all your horses. I'd just like to say real quick that Gen Z has boomers mixed up with another generation we'll get into later with the back in my day stuff. I won't name who yet, but there is definitely a generation who, in my opinion, does it a lot worse. But in general, I gotta say, most boomers I've met are just fine people who are either pretty nice or just don't care. But I think it goes without saying that an annoying boomer is genuinely the worst. For each generation, I'm gonna be giving them a worst aspect. And for boomers, ugh, I cannot stress this enough. They demand respect. Mostly these guys think they should be given automatic authority because they were born earlier than you. No, you should not always respect your elders. If said elder burned your house down, you wouldn't still respect them. Respect is earned, not given. And I can't speak a lot about retail stuff because I actually think old people are some of the nicest customers I've come across. But when they are dumb, they can be pretty dumb. Other than that, I don't have much else to say other than stop making them the ones who run the world. Next up is another one I suspect will get Gen Z really mad because they love to dog on these guys. And it wholeheartedly pisses me off when they do because their reasoning isn't fair in my opinion. Number 4 goes to Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha is the new favorite generation to just consistently shit on, and it makes me mad. You want to know what people's criticisms of Gen Alpha are? They're young. People literally just hate on Gen Alpha because they're young. Oh, but they're bratty. Something young kids do. Oh, but they don't go outside. Half of them are small children. And don't act like Gen Z doesn't think it's cool to be introverted and inside 24/7. Oh, but brain rot. My video on Stickman YouTubers. 1 minute and 15 seconds to 1 minute and 36 seconds. I can't tell you how tired I am of the term brain rot. Gen Alpha legit only gets hate for being young. All y'all Gen Alpha haters would love this subreddit. Now, I do have to contradict myself a bit here. Because they are children, they of course will do some things that are kind of annoying. And that's why they have a spot higher than the boomers. I'd say the worst aspect of Gen Alpha is too much screen time. I think virtually everyone agrees with this. Gen Alpha grew up in a largely digital age, and so they get all the screen time they want. And it's a fucking bad thing. Alright, top 3. And first up is Gen Z. This was the toughest one to rank, because I truly want to be unbiased when discussing Gen Z, as I am Gen Z myself. So while I may go off on Gen Z here, who knows? I might still be biased saying this. Nonetheless, first things first, I think Gen Z has the worst bullying out of any generation, heightened by the internet. Like, genuinely, the stuff I've seen other people go through is beyond insanity. I already said this, but the majority of Gen Z thinks they're cool for not going outside and being introverted. That is truly not something to be proud about. Please stop with that notion. But the main thing I'd like to talk about with Gen Z, and this weirdly coincides with the overall topic of Generation Wars, is that Gen Z's worst aspect has to be superiority complex. In short, Gen Z simply thinks they are the best generation, and they will not let you say otherwise without calling you a boomer. There are definitely many things that Gen Z excels in my opinion. In my opinion, they have the best humor, and they're the tech wizards of the world. But we are not the best in every aspect, and most Gen Z people sort of fail to see that. Even when you say things like how addicted to social media they can get and how sensitive they can be, they will blow up and list 1,000 bad experiences they've had with other generations. And you know what? I'm not afraid to say this anymore because you Gen Z fucks need to hear this because you think you have this so figured out. Yes, you guys do suck in job environments. Listen, I understand that looking for a job is still hard even if you have good qualifications in this day and age, but I myself have had to take, like, people my age's resumes and that's when I realized, and I can confirm this, holy shit, we're kind of cooked. You guys need to make better fucking resumes, and especially you need to be the ones handing them out. Anyways, in short, you guys need to doubt yourselves more. Next up, coming in at number 2, these guys recently faced a lot of backlash on the internet for being cornballs, and it was one of the most satisfying things ever. Number 2 has to go to Gen X. Dude, I can't with Gen X, bro. Now, if we were to fast forward back in time to the number 5 entry, I talked about how boomers love to say, back in my day. Or do they? You see, Gen Xers play the back in my day card in a much more annoying way. Yeah, just your typical Gen Xer used to play till the streetlights came on. Did you know them younger folks can't use a rotary phone? Oh, you say that's because they don't fucking need to anymore? You know, that's called disrespect. My parents would beat the shit out of me for saying that, and I turned fine even though I'm talking like this. We should bring back beating the shit out of our kids, because beating your kids is good. God, I hate children. I wish I could beat my kids because I get off to the thought of it. You already know the worst aspect these guys are receiving. They live in the past. These guys never shut up about how they stayed outside till the sun went down and how they were drinking out of a garden hose and how the 80s had the best music. And shut the fuck up, dude. Like, imagine if everyone was immortal and the fucking Romans kept bragging about how good their empire was. Let it go. Time moves forward and you guys refuse to accept it. Fuck Gen X and fuck your garden hoses that you worship like gods. And now we've reached the number 1 spot. Throughout this whole video, I've said, well, this might be a hot take, but, and I've made a lot of those. However, for our number 1 spot, this is something I think most other generations collectively agree on to be the single most annoying generation. Number 1 literally has to go to those fucking millennials. Okay, let me explain. I think there's a difference between being an annoying person and a bad person. You don't want to spend time with either, but for drastically different reasons. While I don't think millennials are the spawn of Satan or anything, they are just way too fucking annoying. But I have a specific, very specific gripe with millennials that is going to be their worst aspect. Have you ever noticed a specific type of humor in some of our movies and TV shows recently? Even our games? Y'all seen that new K-pop Demon Hunters thing, right? They got shit like this in the movie. You find that really unfunny, right? And have noticed that it is in so many other things, and every time the character is voiced by Awkwafina. In short, I think millennial humor has permeated into way too many shows, movies, games, etc. And it's annoying because it's not funny. Oh, look at the character making the funny derp face. Oh my god, she's so chaotic. She's literally me. Millennials' worst aspect is humor. But in general, everything millennials do kind of pisses me off for some reason. I know this is kind of a dead meme, but they're definitely responsible for those burger restaurants with stools and you pay $23 for some like bullshit burger with weird ass ingredients you can't even taste. And that's without a side. Millennials are responsible for my least favorite genre of music. And what is it, you ask? 2010's radio indie shit. For example, American Authors. Fun fact, I actually saw them live on accident during a free festival in my city. Yeah, I'm not getting that hour back. They popularized the whole being a coffee person bullshit, which when I kill myself, I will save a paragraph in my note dedicated to you guys. They love Harry Potter. I don't. I don't know. You know, as I said, I'm just ranking these based on who's more annoying rather than who's more of an asshole. It seems like we all hate each other and we all have some huge problems. The only thing that Generation Wars have shown is that we all suck. Humanity is terrible. And so I have proposed a situation to kill everyone. Good